Scientology was founded in 1954 by L. Ron Hubbard in the state of California. Within Scientology, between 70,000 and several million people worship no god depending on who is telling you about it. In place of a recognizable deity, reality is explained in the 8 dynamics that drive every living thing in one single goal: survival. According to the Church of Scientology, L. Ron Hubbard was the nation's youngest Eagle Scout at age 13. Journeyed to Asia twice before commercial airlines. Attended America's first class on nuclear physics. Pioneer at the dawn of American aviation. Led expeditions into remote islands in Explorers Club. A giant in the golden age of pulp fiction. Master mariner licensed to captain ships on any ocean. U.S. naval officer who commanded corvettes during World War II. Most published and translated author of all time. According to a source outside the church, L. Ron Hubbard was believed to suffer from malignant narcissism. His son claimed they would move frequently after setting up scams and schemes that people caught onto. As a captain at sea, he blindfolded and bound people, throwing them overboard. Locked children in storage lockers for days at a time. Sent a subordinate captain's ship into a hurricane to break up a couple's relationship. Through his organization, he infiltrated and stole from national and world organizations, forging and framing individuals critical of Scientology. Hubbard's mentor was the infamous English occultist Aleister Crowley. Many of Crowley's beliefs have been incorporated into Scientology, especially in the secret upper levels. The OT level, some adopted practices were the use of drugs and affirmations. The most noteworthy affirmation being, all men shall be my slaves. All women shall succumb to my charms. All mankind shall grovel at my feet and not know why. According to Ron Hubbard, Jr., his father considered himself to be the one who came after Crowley's successor, taking the mantle of the great beast that Scientology began on December 1, 1947, the day Aleister Crowley died. Around 75 million years ago, Xenu, the ruler of a galactic confederation of 76 planets, transported billions of his charges in spaceships similar to DC-8 jets to a planet called Tegeuk, Earth. There they were placed near volcanoes and killed by exploding hydrogen bombs, after which their thetans, souls, remained to inhabit the bodies of future Earthlings, causing humans to take great spiritual harm and unhappiness that can be remedied through special techniques involving an electropsychometer, emitter, in a process called auditing. First, self-dynamic, the effort to survive as an individual. Second, sex dynamic, 2 divisions, the urge toward survival through the sexual act itself, and through the family unit and raising of children. Third, group dynamic, the urge to survive through a group of individuals or as a group. Fourth, mankind dynamic, the urge toward survival through all mankind and as all mankind. Fifth, dynamic of life forms, urge to survive as life forms and with the help of all life forms. Sixth, dynamic of the physical universe or MEST, standing for matter, energy, space, and time, the urge to survive as the physical universe including each one of its component parts. Seventh, spiritual dynamic, the urge to survive as spiritual beings or the urge for life itself to survive. Eighth, infinity dynamic, the urge toward existing as infinity, commonly supposed to be a supreme being or creator, the allness of all. It is represented in Scientology by the symbol for infinity. Scientology, God is not specified, reality explained by the 8 dynamics. Buddhism, varies, Theravada atheistic, Mahayana more polytheistic, Buddha thought nothing is permanent. Judaism, one God, Yahweh. Jehovah's Witnesses, one God, Jehovah. No Trinity, Christ is the first creation of God, the Holy Spirit is a force. Islam, one God, Allah. Christian, Catholic, Protestant, Orthodox, one God who is the Trinity of Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Scientologists believe that humans consist of body, mind, and thetan, together are capable of great things, and spiritual freedom comes from ridding the mind of negative engrams, alien spirits which disturb thoughts. There is no shared belief of an afterlife, but reincarnation is fundamental within Scientology. A popular ritual is auditing using a totem called an e-meter, believed to rid the mind of the previously mentioned engrams, progressing through levels until the mind is finally clear. There is a strong focus on education and drug recovery programs, with high prices for whole program and each stage of progression. The Scientology cross has 8 points, representing the 8 parts, or dynamics, of life through which everyone is striving to survive. The lower triangle, the ARC triangle, pronounced A, R, C, A for affinity, R for reality, and C for communication. The first corner is affinity, the degree of affection for someone or something. Reality is the second corner and is, fundamentally, agreement. The third corner is communication, or the interchange of ideas between 2 people. The upper triangle is the KRC triangle, pronounced K, R, C, K for knowledge, R for responsibility, and C for control. Like the points of the ARC triangle, these 3 elements are interrelated. When one corner of the KRC triangle is raised, the other 2 also rise. Many higher states of existence are available to man. L. Ron Hubbard provided a precise delineation of these states, and then clarified how they could be attained by arranging them on a chart which graphically showed each step of the route upward. The chart that shows the gradations to spiritual betterment is called the classification, gradation, and awareness chart. Man has never had such a map. It is the bridge to total freedom. It is the route. It is exact and has a standard progression. One walks it and one becomes free. At the lower levels of this hierarchy are individual field ministers. At the upper level are larger church organizations that minister the advanced levels of auditing and training religious services. Spanning all churches is a system of international ecclesiastical management. Each individual church of Scientology is separately incorporated and is governed by its own board of directors. Like most sects of Hinduism and Buddhism, and unlike Judeo-Christian Muslim traditions, members are not required to abandon other religious beliefs and affiliations on taking up Scientology. Restricted portions of esoteric literature are made available only to advanced students of Scientology, presenting a fuller account of the metaphysics plus advanced techniques of auditing. Like Christian Science, where general teachings are augmented by subject taught to those aspiring to become recognized practitioners by designated teachers in special classes, the content of which is confidential. Or special ceremonies only those Mormons who are in good standing and receive a permit from their bishop. Through its system of control, members of the church are manipulated into many roles and behaviors. Travolta and Cruz merit red carpet treatment, while other members of the church work for as little as 6 cents an hour. Any member of the church can be imprisoned in the Rehabilitation Project Force, located in Hollywood. Or worse, in the Hole, a remote desert location. Another example is the church wiretapping Nicole Kidman's telephone while married to Cruz because she had been labeled a potential trouble source. Additionally, personal material shared by participants in auditing sessions is sometimes used to retain members considering leaving, and other various forms of manipulation or blackmail. Operation Snow White was a criminal conspiracy during the 1970s to purge unfavorable records about Scientology and its founder. This included infiltrations and thefts from 136 government agencies, foreign embassies, and consulates, and private organizations critical of Scientology. It was one of the largest infiltrations of the United States government in history too, with up to 5,000 covered agents. The sense perceptions of a clear are said to be more vivid and precise than those of the Clear, a neophyte still working to go clear. The clear is unrepressed. A clear does not have any mental voices. He does not think vocally. He thinks without articulation. His thoughts are not in voice terms. Clears do not get colds. A clear has complete recall of everything which has ever happened to him or anything he has ever studied. He does mental computations, such as those of chess, for example, which a normal would do in half an hour, in 10 or 15 seconds. The Dianetic clear is to a current normal individual as the current normal is to the severely insane. In terms of religious practices, Scientology possesses the typical ceremonial religious forms which are found among the world's religions. Initiation or baptism, which is called naming by Scientologists. Auditing, which can be compared to the progressive levels of meditation among Roman Catholics, Buddhists, and Hindu Vedantists. The stages of auditing are called grades or levels. Training, which involves intensive study of the church's scriptures. Practicing these rituals in places where auditing and training are ministered to adherents, specifically Scientology houses of worship. Scientology offers practice management courses to medical professionals, without informing participants of the religious affiliations. Medical professionals' deficiency in financial and office management training predisposes them to become converts to this ploy. Though Scientology's goals of clearing the planet differ significantly from limited personal self-improvement goals of medical professionals, the two coincide in the involvement of professionals in practice management companies. Scientology champions laissez-faire capitalism and decries socialist alternatives. While nothing within Scientology resembles the owner/worker division of labor, production is collectively owned by the church and surpluses are either invested in the system or distributed among its staff. Scientologists consider themselves different from the raw public. Members who speak unwholesomely to outsiders are for all extensive purposes banished. A control model of deviance and conformity closely resembling symbolic interactionist theory. As early as 1955, Scientology founder L. Ron Hubbard launched Project Celebrity, an initially unsuccessful recruitment campaign, which in later years has become very successful. Some examples are John Travolta, Kirstie Alley, Beck, Isaac Hayes, Nancy Cartwright, Elizabeth Moss, Juliette Lewis, Michael Pena, Laura Prepon, and Tom Cruise, who still avidly support the church and its teachings. Some examples of former members and their experience in leaving the church. Leah Remini, quote, "I believe that people should be able to question things." Nicole Kidman, after divorce, decided not to stay with the church. Children who stayed with Tom Cruise were not allowed to speak to her. Katie Holmes managed to escape the church with her daughter Siri. Cruise does not see his daughter due to her being labeled a suppressive person by the church. Jason Beck, quote, "The purpose of Scientology was to create a brainwashed, robotic version of you." Larry Anderson, quote, "Oh, my God, we are sheeple. Not me. I'm out."